With all the current events roiling our world right now, sometimes it's important that we step back and consider other perspectives. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Tim Moore with Lamb and Lion Ministries. You know, for the last many weeks, these prophetic perspectives have emphasized current events and understanding the things going on in our world from a prophetic perspective. But today we want to step back from that and consider the perspective that is offered when you go to Israel. More specifically, what opportunity going to Israel offers to a young person to expand their horizons and increase their perspective. So today I have John Moore, who happens to be my nephew, but who accompanied a Lamb and Lion pilgrimage to Israel a couple of years ago. John, welcome to Prophetic Perspectives.
Thank you for having me. I'm very glad and blessed to be here. It's awesome that via technology that we can do something like this.
It is awesome via the technology that we can combine from miles apart. John, what I want to do today is ask what the experience in Israel offered to you in terms of gaining understanding, insight, perspective on what the Lord has done and is doing in that Holy Land.
So for me, I know a lot of people my age and in my generation tend to be very rooted in their current surroundings and what's going on in their lives right at that moment. And for me, really, the big thing that traveling to Israel did is it very widened my horizons, giving a lot of perspective not only on the present, but the past and the future as well. And seeing all of these places where things happened in the past and where things will happen in the future really gave me a lot of insight into how real it is. Because when we just read about it in the Bible and we're over here in America, never really seen any of these places, sometimes it's hard to realize how real it is and just think of it as a book or a story. But getting to see all of these different areas really makes it real and a lot more impactful.
All right. Well, John, was there any particular place in Israel that stands out in your mind as kind of being eye-opening in terms of once you were there, once you saw the reality, it totally changed how you perceived a location or even an incident from Scripture?
Two come to mind right off the bat, one from the past and one that'll be impactful in the future. The first from the past is the Sea of Galilee. It really amazed me how small it is. When you read about it, you think about it being this huge, vast ocean-like body of water. But when you're there and you can stand up on a mountain close to it, you can pretty much capture the entire thing in a single picture. And it helped me really realize how localized Jesus' ministry was. And it makes it even more amazing how that localized ministry became so globally impactful. So just seeing how small and large it is at the same time really made it was just amazing in my mind, and gave me a lot of perspective on Jesus' ministry. And then as far as the other one that comes to mind is for the future, the Valley of Armageddon, getting to drive around and overlook it from the hills next to it, and really see, because you read about in Revelation of the battle of the end times and all this stuff that's very abstract in the way it's described. It makes it really hard to kind of realize how real it is going to be. But getting to be there and just see the vast valley and imagine a huge army in there and Jesus coming and striking them all down really was amazing, and just made me look forward to his return and his reign even more.
I would say you definitely hit the nail on the head. Going to Israel makes me look forward to the soon return and the reign of Jesus Christ. Well, John, just to kind of close out this portion, what would you say to any young person who would consider whether or not they would have a desire to go to Israel? Would you encourage it for young people, for young millennials, so to speak, to go to Israel, to take the time, sometimes the investment of cost, to go and expand their horizons? What would you say to them?
Jump on it if at all possible. My situation was super unique. I had no anticipation of going. I was not planning to go at all. I know you had talked to me several months before the trip and asked if I wanted to go, but I had some Air Force training that I had to do that summer that was going to be right around the same time. And I wasn't sure how the timing would work out, so I wasn't planning on going. But then God worked things out that allowed me to go, and I found out like 2 days before that I was going to go. I went and then got back and went to my Air Force training 2 days later. So it was quite a whirlwind, but it was worth every second of it. Just to have that amazing experience, definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, folks, that is a perspective of a young man who was able to go to Israel. We'll talk more about the opportunity that you can help afford to another young person, paying it forward in an upcoming prophetic perspective. But for today, this is Tim Moore. Thank you, John Moore, for participating, and Godspeed.